Hi everyone, today we'll speak about the Skinwalker Ranch. The Skinwalker Ranch is located in the Utah and extends over 500 hectares of land, now abandoned and closed to visitors. For 50 years there have been so many anomalies and oddities with this place that many researchers consider it the most paranormal place on Earth. Over the years, many books and television programs about the Skinwalker Ranch have been published, and hundreds of rumors have spread among people, making it now difficult to understand what is real and what is fictitious. The first reports of UFOs and other oddities on the Skinwalker Ranch appeared in the 1970s, when the ranch acquired a new family, and the first press releases began in 1996. But they saw strange things there long before that. In the 1980s and 1990s, the ranch was called Sherman, and people were increasingly called the Skinwalker Ranch in honor of the Skinwalkers, the local werewolves, often described as a mixture of humans and animals with bright colorful eyes and sharp teeth. It can spoil bad energy, is always angry and aggressive. At least 5 reports that they were seen at Skinwalker Ranch, including several photographs. All of them were mainly caused by fakes. But when they interviewed the residents, they were here. In fact, it didn't look like a muscular hyena attacking a horse, and something like a bear have not been found for a long time. Many researchers suggest that UFOs and monsters penetrate the land of the Skinwalker Ranch through portals from other worlds. These statements seem crazy, especially those that they say that this whole Earth is a kind of center of supernatural energy. However, if you look at many stories or witnesses, you can find those in which various objects, animals, and even people disappeared inexplicably, or vice versa, they came out of nowhere. Strange flying objects on the Skinwalker Ranch have been spotted since at least the 1950s. One of the most exciting incidents occurred here in 1978. That night a huge saucer-shaped object flew across the entire area and was spotted by a large number of people in different places. One of the eyewitnesses described it. The object as silver, surrounded by a green fish tint, and something was bent on the saucer, for example like a round handle on the lid of a pen. Despite the huge size of the object, not one of the locals heard a sound during its movement. This particular detail is often found in UFO eyewitness accounts and gives the credibility of the story. The ranch had at least half a dozen owners of its entire existence, but the Sherman family is the most famous. Of their initiative, Skinwalkers were told not only in local pubs, but also on the pages of leading papers. Shermans noticed strange things when they got this ranch almost immediately. At first they heard the voices of the people when there were no people around. Then areas of flattened and compressed wet crop circles began to appear on their wet field. The Shermans describes them in the words, as if a giant man was sitting in this place. Then the Shermans saw a giant spaceship, the size of 2 ball fields in the sky. He flew so low over their heads that small flashing lights could be seen around the edges. In an interview with reporters, Terry Sherman said that initially he thought that all this was the work of a top-secret government organization that is testing advanced technologies in these countries. But the more this happened, the more they realized that it was something completely different. Shermans faced poltergeists, strange shadowy figures, heard strange terrifying sounds, unknown large predators attacked their animals. All this made the Shermans soon sell the ranch to Robert Bigelow. Robert Bigelow, an avid researcher of anomalies, specially bought the Skinwalker Ranch to conduct his own extensive research. He immediately brought to ranch a number of high-tech devices that should detect any paranormal activity. He lived on the ranch for almost 10 years and discovered many different curiosities, especially many UFOs. He concluded that all the stories about UFO activities in this area are fully true. In 2004, Bigelow unexpectedly closed his program, the reason for which were not indicated. Someone thinks he has learned too much about this. Others are sure that he simply ran out of money. In 2016, Bigelow sold the Skinwalker Ranch to a local real estate agent who completely closed it to outsiders. Voices from Nowhere is one of the most interesting secrets of the Skinwalker Ranch, which a large number of people have met. These voices suddenly burst out of nowhere for a few moments and again disappeared. Or a whisper was heard in the air. Another strange phenomenon of this kind is the touch of something invisible. People have repeatedly felt that something abruptly pressed on them, like an invisible hand or leg. Sometimes these invisible were visible. They were translucent human silhouettes, sometimes accompanied by small flying balls. What is hidden underground? Another strange thing about Skinwalker Ranch is the inexplicable excavation ban. We are not talking about walking on the field, but for example about trying to dig a well or ditch here. As soon as you start, the real delivery begins and the tools disappear. One of the ranchers said he was preparing to dig a hole, brought a shovel and barely turned away as it disappeared. And a few weeks later, he found her on a tree. The worst case concerned on the ranchers who had to dig several holes to build a fence, but as soon as he began to work, he fell ill with a strange disease, became very weak and felt exhausted. At the hospital, doctors discovered a sudden and unusual tumor of his brain. How this story ended is unknown. But it's all for today. Leave your comments. What do you think about this? Like and subscribe.